Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Hof Bergmann. I'm going to apologize up front if we get some stuttering and jitteriness during the stream. Something weird's going on with my system. Discovered it right before the stream went live. We restarted, that's why we're starting a little bit late. But at any rate, we are back. We are here. It is springtime, and we are going to be trying to make as much money as humanly possible between now and when our barley harvest is coming in, because I want to buy the brewery. I want to take my barley, I want to make grist, malt grist specifically. I want to run that through the brewing process because I want to make beer. That is what I want to do here with my barley, and it's going to cost me $500,000 to buy that brewery facility. And we have a whopping $152,000 right now, so we have a lot of ground to make up. We're gonna have to borrow money, clearly. We're just gonna try to borrow as little bit of money as possible. Justin, welcome. Glad you can make it to the stream. And you know what? There's someone else I want to give a shout out to. Maybe he's watching, maybe he's not. But if he is watching, Jackson, it was great to meet you earlier today. Glad you liked the stickers I gave you. And hope you can come by the office another day when maybe you're a little less starstruck, if you will. And we can talk a little bit more. But yes, Jackson, thanks for coming by. And it was a blast. Do what your mother says, because she works hard. And some other people I want to thank. Well, that's Tank Fruiter and Dozer. Dozer, hope you made it back over here. You were over at the other stream. Thank you all for being farm barons. If you are curious about what a farm baron is or how to become one yourself, you find the join link down below the video. We have different levels of channel membership, from Farm Hand all the way up to Farm King. Farm Baron is just one of those many levels with various perks. It is a small monthly subscription that you give into the channel. Another way of saying thank you, if you will. I have not played on Frontier Blue Butterfly. I don't really have any intentions of playing on Frontier. It doesn't really draw my attention. I did a map video on that several months back, and it's nothing that I really have that much draw into. Dozer, glad you could make it back. Christian, thanks for the explanation. I'm still not understanding, other than it's a picture of what the sun, moon, and Earth are like from space, and it's just a concept I'm not picturing in my head. I don't picture things in my head very good. I'm not very artistic, so I think I understand, but I also am not really sure. But I applaud you for completing something that you started way back in February and being that dedicated to it. Because the Lord knows that we have a much reduced attention span this day and age than we did even just a couple decades ago. I will also say, anyone trying to put this map on a multiplayer server, I'm running this map right now on a multiplayer server. It is indeed possible. But the issue you run into is that the map itself is too big for the web uploader. Okay, so you're not going to be able to upload this map if you only have access to the web uploader because the map size is too big. That's where web hosts like GPortal. We are a partner with GPortal, but GPortal allows you to get FTP access, File Transfer Protocol, is what FTP stands for. Basically, it's another way of manipulating files, adding them and taking them away from the server. And it basically allows you to upload any size file you need to the multiplayer server, and allows you to easily upload bundles of files at the same time. And with servers from GPortal, you'll have no issue whatsoever in uploading this map or other maps that may have a larger file size than is normally accepted by the web uploader. But you will need to use an application like FileZilla to do the FTP process. Rhodes McCormick, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming by. So I didn't even really think about the issue with this map and the multiplayer until I was setting up or resetting up a small dedicated server here at the house, and I couldn't get this map uploaded via the web uploader. And then I realized that it was an issue with the map size. Turn that thing off. Don't be wasting the fertilizer. We're going to plant 2 fields of corn tonight. They're both going to be corn to go into our fermenter so we can make more silage. Field 50 and field 20. Let's hit field 20 because it's right over here. That one just popped in. Cavalier Roy. Can I tell people? Can I tell people? I haven't told anyone. I haven't told anyone, and I'm not sure if I can tell people. So you're gonna need to tell me if I can tell people. All right, now that I have to go ahead from the man himself. Cavalier Roy has been working on an update to his map, Riverview Farm. He's going to be uploading to Giants if he hasn't already sent it off to Giants, and hopefully we'll see it sometime next week. Given the fact that there is, what, a 7-day now wait on map submissions to release or to testing. Lots of changes coming your way. I know there's lots of folks that like the Riverview map. We used Riverview back in FS 17 maybe early FS19. I honestly don't remember. To do a little bit of a multiplayer challenge in the Discord, and well, it fell down to a whole lot of forestry, and well, I think we got some folks that burned themselves out on forestry in Riverview. But at any rate, it's a really great map to go check out. If you haven't seen it, do expect an update coming very, very soon. Ravenhawk, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Dealing with a little bit of streaming issues tonight, but we'll just trudge through. I know you sent me a copy. I honestly hadn't downloaded it yet. I have it now downloaded. I'll take a look at it and let you know what I think. I also got really awesome news about a very, very popular map that is making its return to Farm Sim 22. It was released in FS17 originally. It is being redone by the original author. And if all things go well, we might be able to give a first look, early access gameplay on it. Possibly the end of this week or early next week after our launch party. It's going to be coming right up against the Farm Production Pack coverage. So we're going to have to kind of slot it in there. It is not Nebraska lands. That is still a work in progress. But the information I got on the map today is really, really cool. It's really interesting, the effort and the work that the map author has gone into with respect to making it as real to the area as possible. It's going to be one of those ultra realistic American maps. It's not going to fit everyone's cup of tea because of that ultra realism, but for those that are looking for an authentic Midwestern experience, it's going to be right up your alley. And it probably has a creek, but you wouldn't think it has a creek by its name. Let's just say that. Okay? But hopefully that'll be coming to the channel here in the next little bit. At least at a minimum as a first look. The map's not done, so there's still some work to be done on the map, but it's done enough to merit a first look. I feel and merit a little bit of hype coverage. But I also don't want to burn the map out before others get a chance to enjoy it for themselves. Oh, tractor pull map. There is a placeable that has there was definitely like an Olympics map that had a lot of different vehicular events. I don't know if tractor pull was one of them, but there was definitely like a racetrack. There was like an agility course you had to back a trailer up through, and some other things. I know there was a tractor pull map in 19. But I don't know if there was one released in 22. It would be in my playlist if there was. I can tell you that much. That playlist is well over 350 maps at this point. Good morning, Connor. How is it this fine Tuesday? How's the weather for you? It turned a little cool here for us, which is just great because the office, they turned the air on last week. So we got the air conditioning on in the office, and today it probably wasn't more than 65 degrees outside. Thanks for keeping it cool. Oh, that might be. Let me check something. I might have figured something out here. Oh, shoot. Turn it off. Let me check something. Let me check a few things, people. And I might have figured out my whole encoding problem. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Bear with me a few seconds. So I can fix something. Because I changed my network file storage over to a different system, and it appears that this logo is being called from the file server that doesn't exist anymore. And that may have been causing some of the encoding lag as it tries to call it from the wrong file location. Which would be odd because I didn't run into that issue, I don't think, last night during our ATS stream, but okay. All right, sorry. Richard, I have no idea when there's going to be a patch for Farming Simulator 22. I don't know if there's a patch going to be required for the new DLC or not. But I would suspect if there is, then that patch would probably drop either late this weekend or this week or on Monday. Typically, if it is a patch required for... If it's a patch required for a DLC, that patch will drop like the day before the DLC drops. Now, I do know that it was reported, and I haven't heard anything back from Giants, and I reported it to them last night when I heard. But I did see a report that on Xbox, someone preloaded the farm production pack, and when they did that, they lost access to the hay and forage pack. So I reported that to Giants. I haven't heard anything. So if the website says 1.14 is required, then I would suspect that update will drop on Monday at the latest, and possibly toward the end of this week. But literally the only thing I know about the farm production pack is what you know, what has already been presented in the blog post and in our videos for those of us that have put that out. Maybe on Thursday. I know there's folks that are maybe hoping Thursday includes a different announcement, given the day of the week that Thursday is. But we won't know that until Thursday either. Well, what's up? What's up? I was teasing a different map, and you know, Nebraska lands popped up as a willful hope. That map's coming soon, but not quite yet. Superfly, if I didn't repeat myself already, when we started our stream earlier, I was noticing some encoder lag in OBS, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I restarted my game, I restarted OBS, trying to troubleshoot it, and the encoding lag was continuing. And one thing I noticed is in the upper left corner we have our thumbnail, or watermark if you will, the stream. And I used to have a 3D one that rotated. Okay, I don't know how many other people actually noticed that it rotated, but it was up there. It was kind of faded out and it rotated slowly. Well, over the weekend I changed my home file server out for a different one, and I didn't realize that that particular asset was fed directly from the file server. All the other assets that I use during the stream are stored locally. That one was being pulled from the file server, and as such, it was pulled from a file server that's turned off. And it looks like, for whatever reason, I didn't pull that file over to the new file server. So I think OBS was timing out, trying to constantly load that asset, and it was causing a rendering lag. Because I pulled that asset now, I've changed it out for a local graphic that is hosted here on the machine, and now we're not suffering render lag. I just needed to look through that once I realized it and get it corrected. Oh, come on. Come on. I want to get the cherry orchard. One day we'll buy the cherry orchard. Hopefully I become a millionaire selling local brews. Local brewskis. For my broskies, and we can buy the cherry orchard. So yeah, I mean, over the weekend I moved, maybe 12 terabytes worth of files over to the new file server, and I guess I missed at least one. But I had fun building out a NAS, expanding it. This one's got a lot more capabilities because it's not an off-the-shelf product. It's a built off my bench product. It's not going to stall Sherry. We got horsepower. It's a New Holland. It just needed to find the right gear. So if you remember, that's a field that we worked and then sold it. We don't own that field anymore. That grass field. All of your mod hoarding, no doubt. Yeah, I basically doubled my space. The old one was a QNAP, off the shelf 4-bay NAS, had 12 gig drives in it. This one is a home built 8 drive system that has 8 storage drives and has 2 OS drives mirrored for resiliency there. All right, let's go fast forward to April. And then I'm probably going to redo the old one and set it up as a backup node. Yeah, raid 1 is that's yeah, I mean, it's a mirror. That's the best you can do with 2 drives. I'm trying to debate if I'm probably going to take it to work and set it up in the office and then remote back up to it in the office. So it'll be outside the house. You can mirror them. You can raid 5 anything. Yes. There are all sorts of enterprise RAID arrays that are flash, 100% flash. So I've got 2 NVMe drives that are in RAID 1 mirror mode for the OS. And then I was going to have 2 SSDs in a RAID 1 being a cache drive. But my plan for those SATA ports didn't work out. It's for resiliency. So if the OS is on one drive and the drive fails, you're done. If the OS is on a 2-drive mirror and a drive fails, you're still fine. And then you put another drive in to replace the one that failed and it rebuilds and you never went down. So it's not about speed, it's about uptime. All right, are we? Come on. There we are. Oh, we have chickens. We have chickens. We're going to sell these chickens. All right, because we have fully grown chickens and we have 2-month-old chicks, 4-month-old chicks, and brand new chicks. That'll keep that count going. We need to get food in here. We need to get straw in here. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting, right, setup. He had a similar view in the 19 iteration of the map. Yeah, so there's different levels of raid. There's striping, which is not backup at all. It's basically taking 2 drives and doubling their capacity. So if you have 2 drives, let's say you have 2 1 terabyte drives and you RAID 0 them, stripe them, you'll have a single 2 terabyte drive. And if either drive fails, you lose all your data. Not good. A mirror RAID is taking 2 drives of the same size typically and mirroring them, so all the data written to one is written to the other. So if you have 2 1 terabyte drives, you have a single drive that is 1 terabyte in size, but the data is on both drives at the same time. And if one drive fails, the other drive just continues to work. And you get notice that your RAID's in a degraded array. And it gives you an opportunity to replace the fail drive. And then it rebuilds the array and basically puts the content of the back onto the new drive, so you have redundancy there. Then you have RAID 5, or what they now call RAID Z1, which is typically at least 3 drives, but can be as many drives as you want. And the data is striped across at least 3 drives. And you typically will lose 1 drive's worth of capacity as a result. But any one drive can fail and your data is not lost, because the drive is always living on 2 of the 3. Or a more typical setup is you see something with, like, let's say 5 drives or 4 drives. So a 4 drive RAID 5 setup would be you have 3 drives worth of capacity spread across 4 drives. And if 1 drive is lost, then you still have all your data. You put a new drive in, the data is striped back across the 4th drive, and you're good to go. If you lose 2 drives, your data's gone forever. Then you have RAID 6, which I believe is like a mirror and a stripe. So it uses even more drives. You have even less usable, but you can recover from multiple failures. CFL, I don't know where you come from, and I don't know what you think is acceptable that is not acceptable here. I'm done with it. So yeah, there's lots of different levels of RAID, lots of different levels of backup and safetyifying your, securing your data. Alright, we just got a little bit of yard work that we gotta get done here. Then we'll get to planting. Our chickens make so much manure. We're actually going to probably put down another. I'll probably put another one of these doohickeys down. Compost heap. Yeah, because, you know, your NAS is your local backup. Because the original files are on the PC. And then it would be good to have a third level off-site backup. Just in the event, you know, you have a total loss at the house. This map has, technically it basically has enhanced animal system built in because a lot of enhanced animal system is derived from this map. Now the multiple reproduction part of enhanced animal system isn't in here. But all the extra animals came from this map to go into the enhanced animal system mod. Yeah, I found a pretty good deal on I rolled the dice on some refurbished drives, like $100 each, for I think 14 terabyte refurbished drives. They claim to carry a 5-year warranty on them, so we'll see. They've got about, you know, 5 days worth usage on them now. The Dark One, what is up, sir? How are you doing tonight? The carrots are going well. We gotta make sure we feed our rabbits here in a minute. Our rabbits. So I got 6 rabbits. I started out by buying 1. And I've got 6. Yeah, here's my original rabbit. Oh no, maybe I bought 2. We have 2 original rabbits. And now I've got a 3-month-old rabbit and a 1-month-old rabbit. Well, they're going to start reproducing like rabbits very, very soon. So all you need to do is mow it and it becomes a normal field. Oh, the other day I said I couldn't collect these I can. I don't know why I didn't think I could. I don't know why it wasn't working the other day. That's interesting. That's simply the act of mowing converts it from a non-field to a field. Alright, where can we take our honey? Honey, 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 honey! Where are you at? Oh, the farm shop is good. Alright, we'll take it down to the farm shop. Now I take it you can't fertilize the field until you mow it also? Welcome, Kalash Farmer. Now it'd be really nice if we could get like this honey set up as a standalone mod. I mean, I can understand why he doesn't want to release everything he does as standalone options. But it just would be nice. This should fill it up. Oops. Nope. What's the skinny on All Things Farm Sim? What kind of news do y'all have to share? Yeah, we do have a 16x America map coming soon. Nebraska lands by that guy. CCS 101. Been seeing some pretty cool screenshots in the Discord as teasers. Now we're not getting any money, but that's okay. The farm shop here sells it over time. So it basically simulates people coming into the shop and buying small quantities of goods. So we don't earn money until the actual sale. And the honey should be, there it is, stacked up. All right, I think I forgot to fertilize this field. Oh, it's wrong overlay. Yeah, we need to go fertilize that field. Yes, the Jatco sprayer. I saw a Jatco sprayer was released. I didn't really look at the details. Does that make that the largest sprayer in game? $50 meters? It's expensive, but it'll get the job done quick, right? Might be a little bit of a problem on smaller fields, trying to navigate those giant booms. Before we drive too far, this map has grass destruction. So if you drive over grass without care tires, you will damage part of the grass. We're okay, we're still in one stage growth. We also have weeds in grass. We'll need to, I guess, invest in a sprayer because I can't get rid of tall weeds. And while we're doing that, let's look at our planter options. So that is going to require 65K plus this. Probably need to go reconfigure that because I saw some options I wanted to pick. That's from the horse bundle. The horse DLC. Good night. What is up, sir? How y'all doing? The weather turned cool for you. I think it's gonna be cool for us this week. It's like a double whammy. The weather is. First we got people suffering allergies because of all the pollen dropping. And then it gets cold after a week or so being warm, and that in itself can send folks' sinuses for a fit. So are you stuffy runny nose from pollen, or are you stuffy runny nose from the weather changing? Or maybe you're both. I think that's what my daughter's suffering through. Put this over here. Drop that. We had a frost last night. This morning I came out, we had frost on the car. Right? Definitely a little bit too early to be putting in those frost sensitive crops in the ground. Where's the dealer at? Where's the... Is it this whole thing? I think so. Alright, this one. No, we don't need to spend money on that. Yes. To the fertilizing distribution unit. Okay. Oh, we already had it. Alright, so we're good to go. And I think I have seed up here. Let me verify. Yep, looks like I do. Go to town. Oh no storms for us, so it's just cold. I don't think we have a frost warning tonight. We definitely had that frost warning last night. Silage is a good paying gig. I do like this horse equipment, I just don't use a lot of it all the time. We have so much stuff available to us. That's why I find equipment DLCs sometimes a bit excessive. There's already just about everything in game. That's why I'm really interested in this farm production pack that's coming next week, because it's not equipment. Adding brands is fine. It's just, how many mowers do you need? How many seeders do you need? Right? I love it. I know. I would love to see American stuff. I would love to see a European American option where you could choose. Do you have UK placards or European placards or American placards, if you will? And I think we'll see it more now that we have a official Giants presence here in the States. Let's go get our bigger tractor. I have no idea what you mean by auto download. I mean, if they're there on the map, on the crossplay version, they should work. I haven't played on a Carpathian countryside for quite a long time. I don't recall any calf stalls that were anything more than just deco. Maybe they've been updated. To add that functionality, but I don't recall that functionality being part of the map when I played on it. I mean, I guess I never checked to see what the horsepower requirement of this thing is. 170, that's exactly what we have. I mean, I guess the closest thing we have to that is the case 100 years thing, and that was a bit of a disappointment that it only included two items. But Giants is always about brand equity, so yeah, I guess it gets difficult there too. Well, sure. I mean, the dedicated mod I think came out long after the map. So unless the map that goes and then gets updated to require that other mod, it's not going to come in after the fact. Maybe he'll have an update to the map that will include that functionality. Who knows? Maybe it's already been submitted and is pending testing, pending release. You're much more attuned to what's going on with mods than I ever will be. I just take a cursory look every day for a map, see if anything stands out. Other cornfields fairly flat. I mean, it seems like some interesting combinations. A rumbler van and a sprayer. This thing is jacking the tractor's tires up too high off the ground. I would be remotely interested in just knowing what the two conflict with each other on. Because, I mean, one's just a van. I don't know why or how it would have any sort of function that would be anywhere similar to a sprayer. And then the other is obviously a sprayer. Almost feels like it's the Rumbler's problem. Like, why on earth does it have anything that would any remotely be close to affecting a sprayer? So we also need to then do this field over here. So let's look. Since we got a Rumbler. Let's look at it. Boom. So the Lizard Rumbler van can transport anything but bales. So it also allows you to load and unload the vehicle. I guess like a fertilized sprayer or spreader. So it's autofill. So if it's autofill, meaning you pull up something, you hit fill, and it fills it. And then you and it spawns it back out as a pallet. And that's conflicting with this. Which is simply a sprayer. Yeah. At 20,000 feet, I would assign the problem to the van. Because the van's doing funky stuff. Sprayer is just a sprayer. Alright, so I need to go fill this thing up with seed. We need to buy more seed. 800 for 1,000 liters. I don't need 8. Just want 2. Let's go get some seed, boys. Hundred street signs, all of them with unique original names to them, no doubt. So they're not all the same sign everywhere. You know what? All right, let me put on my weightlifting belt. Did I not turn that on? Just heave that weight up on the trailer. Delilah, good evening. This truck comes with the map. It is a Nissan something. Nissan Navara, whatever that is. I know the Jacko stuff that came out a while ago was really nicely detailed. I didn't download the sprayer because I didn't have any real intentions of using it. It's too big, it's too expensive for anything I would typically play using. But it's interesting kind of hearing the console perspective on that. And having a slot count, it's always about slot count utilization, I guess. One would be willing to forego details and bling, as you say, in lieu of less slot usage. Although I have to say that when we did have cross-play multiplayer servers, and when we did have console players joining us on those servers, there were folks with multiple farms, with a whole bunch of machinery, and I was still really surprised at how far that slot count went. Yeah, well, it's always a trade-off of ease of use and convenience to restrictivity. I mean, look at Apple. Apple's one of the most restrictive platforms out there, and everyone loves them. Well, people that have Apple devices love Apple devices, but they're one of the most restrictive platforms out there. I do as well. I feel they're one of the most two-faced companies out there, talking about environmental consciousness and all this other stuff, but all they do is sell e-waste every day of the year. Can't upgrade any of their products after you buy it. If you realize you needed more memory and more storage, the answer isn't putting more in. The answer is getting rid of it and buying a new one. But, you know, to each their own. And like I say, consoles have their place. They're great because typically they just turn on, they just work. Trouble-free. Some of the reasons that they're trouble-free is the restrictive nature. I think, Sherry, what your problem is that Sony or Microsoft, whichever platform you're on, restricts how much disk space you can use per game. And in not having a console, I don't know what those restrictions are. But I can tell you that PC gaming is not as expensive as one would believe. So this wasn't going to turn into I didn't really intend to have an ad roll here for Apex Gaming Computers, but since the conversation came up, I might as well talk about it. Apex Gaming Computers and us do have a partnership. We have 3 configurations up here. Right now, you can get the Yeoman for $870. And the Yeoman, the Homesteader, and the Rancher, all 3 will play Farm Sim 22 perfectly fine. You come in here, you can customize this to your heart's content. Yeoman's running a Ryzen 5500 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gig fast storage, 500 watt power supply, and Windows 11. You come in here and customize this to your heart's content. We've got the Homesteader with a 13600KF processor, 16 gigs of RAM, a 4060 GPU, 512 gig NVMe across all 3 platforms. Then you have the 12900KF. You can't get too much faster than that at this point and be worth any money. I mean, they just released a 14900KFS or something stupid that can go like 6.2 gigahertz for a second, but it's like $700 for the CPU itself. Just stupid priced for that, in my opinion. Yeoman will be perfectly great for Farm Sim 22 and move you out of those console restrictions. Now, other than a full-sized PC like that, there's also handheld PCs, things like the Steam Deck, which are running Linux that will run Farm Sim. And then there are these little mini PCs that are fit in the palm of your hand. They're like $500-600. They don't have dedicated graphics. You can run Farm Sim on low. I use one of them in my map videos to check out maps now and see how well they're going to run on low-end systems, to see if you can run 60 frames per second or not on low-end systems. And yeah, they're great. You know, they get the job done. You're not going to run it on super ultra high settings with integrated graphics, but you will kind of loosen the knot of those console restrictions. I'm running Windows 11 on everything but this streaming machine. And that's because I don't plan on upgrading this streaming machine. I plan on basically running Windows 10 on this thing until I replace it. I've got Windows 11 on all the other systems here in the house. And we're moving to Windows 11 institution-wide at work this summer. I think Windows 10 dies August or October of next year. They do. There's technically a way around it. But it's not like you can't set up an Apple device without having an Apple account. It's not like you can set up an Android device without having a Google account. It's a Microsoft account, and Microsoft is evil. It's annoying. They used to let you get around it. They don't anymore, unless you know a special command to type in by hitting Shift F10 and then typing a very quick command that I can look up, because I've had to do it a couple times. It's not all that bad. It's not all that evil. And to some degree, it's rather convenient that there's several settings, things within Windows that they will sync across all your devices. Justin, I don't have top mods. And they're 100% not going to be the type of mods that you're thinking about. They're going to be things like additional game settings. You get rid of that stupid circle that's in front of everyone's screen. And to give you nice fade tabs like this when you tab around. It's going to be things like easy dev controls to allow me to quickly do things that need to be done as a creator. There's going to be things like field calculator and farmland lease to give me screens like this. Going to be things like animal food overview. It gives me a table of everything that all the animals are going to need, and how that equates out to productivity. Yeah, I gotta look it up. It's basically you Shift F10 in Windows 11 setup, and it gives you a command prompt. And then you type in OBE for out-of-box experience / something in something. And it basically reboots the Windows installer and basically tells Windows that you don't have an active internet connection and you can't get an active internet connection, and allows you to hit the no skip this account creation process. And then it creates a local account instead. I had to figure it out when I was setting up a Windows VM, and the VM didn't have network drivers. So obviously I couldn't set up a Microsoft account if I didn't have network drivers. And I couldn't get network drivers until I was out of setup. Right? So it's this catch-22. So I found it documented online. And I would say guidance steering, but I haven't added it at all to this game save. Justin, I deliberately play every game save different, with different equipment. And I maintain different mod folders for every game save. So I don't have a monolithic mod folder that I use across all my game saves. So quite oftentimes there will be mods that I will be missing for 20 hours of gameplay, and then realize, oh wait, I don't have this mod activated. And typically I realize I don't have this mod activated when I'm in the middle of streaming, and I can't exactly just stop the stream and go activate it. And then by the time I get done streaming, I forget that I need it or want it. And then it just never ends up happening. I'm a big proponent of independent mod folders. It's going to save you a ton of burden with mod conflicts and things. I basically never run into mod conflicts because I very rarely have more than 50 mods in any one mod folder. This mod folder probably has less than 30. And most of those came with the map. Well, you can definitely use a controller for PC. There's, you know, Xbox controllers. There's people using PlayStation controllers, wired and wireless on PC. And like I said, you've got your gaming handhelds that are coming out more and more popular. Your ROG Strix, not ROG Strix, your ROG Ally, your Steam Deck from Valve. The Lenovo Legion Go. There's some more boutique handheld companies out there as well. Those you can even dock and USB-C to your TV. So there's lots of options that aren't, you know, giant monolithic power in your gaming room or your living room that sucks down 700 or 800 watts of power. I've heard that a lot, Farmer G. I just, you know, I don't trust anything that isn't myself. I just rename mod folders. I don't really need anything fancy. I just like to play with a chill. And sometimes just the act of trying to keep up with what mods get released when and is too much effort. Well, one thing, Will, that I'm experimenting right now with this game actually is I set up a dedicated server here at the house. It's running as a VM actually on the new NAS, and I can connect to it from this machine. I can connect to it from the office machine. I can connect to it from my handheld or one of my minis, and I don't have to worry about copying the save game folder around to different machines because it's all just up on the server. So I'm kind of basically using a dedicated server as a way of just easily connecting to a single save game across multiple machines. So far it's working pretty good conceptually. It's not everything. It's not something everybody can do, right? You either need access to resources to run it on a dedicated hardware, or virtualize it on a dedicated hardware somewhere, and you need access to another copy of the game, right? Because you need to have at least 2 licenses. I would play off the Steam copy, which you can then install the Steam version on all of your devices. And then I would download the Giants eShop copy for the server. So I actually picked up the Platinum and the Premium expansion when I set this server up. So, because the Premium expansion is the base game, all the Season 1 DLC, all the Season 2 DLC, and that's what I activated the server with. Yeah, it's another good use for a server would be, you know, family or a small group of friends get together, have farming night. It doesn't have to be a local server. It could always be one you rent from GPortal or some other provider. I mentioned at the top of the stream that when I set up the dedicated server for this experiment, I realized that you couldn't upload this map via the web uploader because it's too big. So you need access to the file system of the server. Obviously, if it's local, that's not a problem because you can just log into it and copy a file, either USB or download it direct. With most web hosts, they're only going to give you access to the web uploader. But GPortal gives you access also to the server via FTP. And with FTP, you can just log in and transfer any number of files you want. This map is over 2 gigs in size, I believe. .12 gigs according to Windows. So it says 2.12 gigs are 2,283,498. No, that's 2.2 gigs basically. I know that we figured out you needed to whittle your map down to like 1.7. And I think 1.7 would allow it to still upload via the web uploader, which will of course still make it most compatible with servers. So I still think 1.7 is the target to be most compatible with all hosts. Because if I was using my old host provider, I would not have been able to put this up on a server because I would only have access to the web uploader. But yeah, with GPortal you have up to 25 gigs of mod space. So in theory you could upload, well, I mean your map could be 25 gigs in size and upload to the GPortal server. I don't see a map being that big, but you know, it's still conceivable. Yeah, so this mod folder has got 25 mods in it. You could, but imagine how few people could play it decently. I mean, imagine the slot count on that thing. It would probably roll over. There's not enough digits. Alright, let's hire this guy out. Let's come over here to our bowls. See what our bully boys have been doing. Oh, we got 20 liters of juice. These bully boys have been busy. 4 jugs of juice. Yeah, buddy. I appreciate your sacrifices. Let's go over here and check out our honey. Not a lot of honey. I was getting a lot more honey over the winter. Yeah, it's a little effort, right? So we got to move these honeycombs to the spinner, and the spinner has to run, and it makes, you know, a crate of honey, and then we got to repeat this process. Oh no, we're not going to get that much money off of the juice. Yeah, I mean, he takes Farm Sim Town to a whole new level of small and manual. If I can put one more load in here, we might just actually empty all of the hives this time around. Now we only get like 45 bucks a can for the juice. There we go. Let's get our truck. Or no, you know what we do? We don't need our truck. So we're about to close her out. We're gonna get on our bicycle. And we're gonna bike our juice all the way down to the animal dealer. Whoa. I hit a tree. Yeah, the bakery is a little lackluster this time around than it was in previous versions of the map where you... Where am I going? Where you had to mix the flour and the water and the yeast to make the dough. Then you had to put the dough in the oven with wood chips to fire the oven. Then you would get your baked bread out. But just like I like to use different mods and different ways of playing every save game, Farmer Andy likes to build out his Hof Bergmann different with every game version. Right? It's like, I've done that trick before. I want to do a different trick. "20 liters of juice," also known as little swimmers. Let's take them down to the animal dealer. A real bike? Will I a long time. Ironically though, let me tell you, I get some of the most interesting emails about partnership opportunities with the channel. And over the weekend I got a second email from an e-bike company wanting to do a partnership with the channel because an e-bike would be so it would be so right up the alley of my viewers and what I do. Now this one was an e-bike trike. Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh, we've disaster. Disaster has struck. Hit and run. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? Can you help me? Can you go down to the constable's office and help? Did you catch the plate that ran over me? Yeah, this one I think had a 300 watt battery. or something. I don't know, an advertised 330 pound hauling capacity or person limit or whatever. A nice little basket on the back. Half the advertisements had grandma sitting on it, riding around what looked like her garden. And I'm like, okay, no. I've had people want me to run ads for chicken feed. I've had people want me to run ads for shop lights. It's like, you all clearly have not seen any of my content. Like, I'm not a real farmer doing real farming. And I definitely don't see anybody interested in buying an e-bike just because they watched the channel. Heave-ho! 50 bucks. Look, it's $200 worth of juice. We're just that much closer. Gold Gaming, I'm sorry you're late. We're honestly just about ready to wrap it up. Doing our obligatory juice run. Oh, I almost got hit by another car. These roads are not safe for bikes. Gold Gaming, thank you for the gifted membership. No sleep. We've caught you here. You've been gifted a membership by Gold Gaming. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gold Gaming. I'm going to go ahead and run our credits. Well, thank you all for coming out and watching. Thank you for bearing with me during the slight streaming problems we had earlier on, but we got those resolved. Keep an eye on the channel for tomorrow, depending on what Giants does with respect to the mod hub. It's going to be governing what we're going to be doing here on our channel. It might be worth checking the channel out sometime tomorrow morning. Just saying, there might be something going on that's worth paying attention to. And we all have eyes toward Thursday, hoping, some praying, that Giants has a big announcement Thursday that doesn't involve patch 1.14, but maybe involves something that goes along the lines of something like Farm Sim 25. Hope. Wish. Desire. Nothing's confirmed, of course, until it happens. But it would be April 25th. And Giants has a way of wanting to do things on dates of some significance. So with that, I bid you all fond farewell. And until next time, happy farming.